as you mentioned that you are a chef, so did you study it?
Yeah, I studied patisserie at the University of West London, and so, but
Mhm.
the course is 3 years. But the first year I did it in a city called Doncaster, and then the last 2 years I did it at the University of West London.
In the classes, they teach you how to bake cakes.
Mm-hmm. Bake cakes, make chocolate
Really?
sculptures, sugar sculptures. Yeah, it's a really fun course. It allows you to be creative.
Yes, I have watched so many videos on YouTube. Like they make cakes like the real objects.
Yeah.
For example, bottle or sandal or anything. So it looks very amazing.
Mhm.
And I'm also very much surprised that they spend a lot of time and effort in order to make that cake. And when it is finished, then people eat it in
Yeah,
minutes.
exactly. Sometimes the cakes look so good that you don't want to eat it, but yeah, being a pastry chef, you have to be really patient because there's a lot of trial and error. And if things go wrong, you have to start things all over again. So it could take hours and days sometimes if it's a big project.
But in Pakistan, we do not have any course like that. Uh,
Oh, okay. No
like
cooking course
cooking.
at all.
In universities, we are not taught this course, not at all.
Okay.
So, what is the faculty name, for example? You studied it in the
Yeah,
university?
University of West London, but I think the
Okay.
is City and Guilds is the certificate. On the certificate, it will say City and Guilds. So they're the people that provide the certification.
I beg your pardon. What is that word?
City and Guilds. I'll write it because City.
City and
Yeah,
Guilds.
they're the ones that provide the certification to get the patisserie.
Is there any specific name of the faculty in which you study all this cooking and everything, or pastry baking?
They will call it culinary arts. So culinary arts faculty.
Cu- Culinary
They
arts.
call it culinary arts, but and then patisserie just comes under that.
Okay. So apart from making pastries, what else do they teach?
Um, all, all cooking, general cooking. So from larder to sauce, all types of cooking. But I personally just chose
Okay.
patisserie.
Patisserie. What is it?
Patisserie is a French word for pastry.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I chose patisserie because I don't like to work with meat, and even though I like cooking for myself, I don't like cooking. I prefer pastry because you can take your time and be more creative and do art.
So you make these pastries and cakes for others. So do you make them for yourself as well?
Sometimes, I make it for myself if I know people uh, is coming. So if there's people around, then I'll
Okay.
make it at home. But for myself, no, because you can't just make one little thing. You make a batch, it will be a big cake, and I wouldn't want to eat a whole cake for myself because I find that I'd be a little bit
Yeah.
greedy. And I do have a sweet tooth, and so I have to pace myself and not have too much sweets and cakes. Otherwise, I get fat. So, do you have a favorite pastry or cake that you like?
Actually, I don't like the cake with cream.
Hmm.
If there is only a little cream, so I can eat it, or if it is without it, I will love
Yeah,
eating it. But I like coffee
a
cake.
coffee cake. I've made coffee cakes a few times, especially in the UK we have afternoon tea, and so we have to make these miniature cakes, and so one of the cakes has to be a coffee cake, and then another cake has to be a Victoria sponge with the cream that you don't like. But yeah, so coffee cake is a popular cake.
What is the cake in which you are expert in?
What an expert
What is
in.
the type of
I would say a chocolate fondant. because I know some people can always get it wrong, because if you get it wrong, the cake will collapse because it has a chocolate center. And so you have to not
Mhm.
cook it too much, but just enough so that it stands up and not collapse. And so I'll say a chocolate fondant because I've made so many that I always get it right now.
Which type of cake is popular in France?
They love their pastries, so eclairs, and they like a katka. It's a buttery cake. I don't like it personally. They love their shoe buns, and opera cakes, which is like a thin layered cake. It has about 6 layers to it, but in different. You have different flavors, so you can have caramel flavor, pistachio flavor, but it's quite technical, an opera cake for sure.
Exactly. And when you named all the types of the cake, my mouth started watering.
When I say I picture it, and I'm just, it's very, it's hard working with it for sure because you're just surrounded by cakes, and if you like sweets, then it's very difficult to not touch it.
But as a layman, I'm very much surprised that even cake has so many varieties, so many
Yes,
flavors. Because I only knew few of them like chocolate, black forest, coffee cake, strawberry,
yeah,
like this. But
it's
you
endless.
you are talking about a different world of
Yeah,
cake.
there's so many varieties. It's endless for sure. And even I experimented with a vegetable cake. Um I know, but it was quite sweet. And so I used courgettes and carrots, and I used a sugar
Mhm.
substitute, and it tasted really nice. And so
Okay, and that was your
yeah.
invention.
I mean, a carrot
So
cake is
what
not an
did you name?
invention, but adding courgettes into it is kind of an invention.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you have your own cake
Yes.
now. And what name did you give that
Oh, I haven't
cake?
named it yet. I haven't
Vegetable cake?
named it yet. I'll wait till I master it and then I'll give it a name, but I haven't named it yet.
Did your friends or colleagues
Yeah, they
taste
were
it?
surprised that it tasted nice because the sound of it, they thought it was going to be horrible,
Okay.
but they liked it, so
Mhm.
it's good.
I would love to eat that cake because nowadays, as I told you, that I'm on
Yeah,
diet, so it would be a good
yeah.
option for me.
So we've just
Yep.
got less than a minute left. I've really enjoyed my chat with you. It's been really good. And your English is really good. It's very clear, and I understood everything, and your grammar is perfect.
Thanks for your compliments, and same here.
Well, it's nice speaking with you.
So have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank